something in my head was like, your body, had we not had modern medicine or things like formula, your body would not be able to do what it needed to do to produce this human and keep him alive. And that really got to me. Hormones are like every which way. Let's tell them what we're gonna do today. You want to? I have moments of I just need to cry. I cry that I'm happy. I'm crying that I'm sad. Just kind of all over the place. Just the anxiety of like, is he breathing? And those thoughts can just keep going and snowballing into something big if you don't like reel it in. And I almost had kind of PTSD from the birth, that I was like in survival mode for myself and for him. And then I would just like snap out of it and be like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And seeing his little face just really got me through those weird thoughts I was having. Gonna wake up? Not yet. Hi guys, I took a little bit of a hiatus, obviously, from YouTube because I had my baby and he's so sweet. He's almost a month old. We are just trying to get used to being in the real world. We just had a feeding. I burped him and now he's back asleep. I am going to lay him down so he can get some nap time in, and then we'll come back. But look at him. He's so sweet. Yeah, it's so sweet. Okay, I know you're already gonna be like, how do you have makeup on and your hair done? I just have a lot to do today, and I haven't done my hair and makeup since he's been born. So that is my excuse for doing this, or I would not be doing it. I just have a lot of things to film and just get out of the way so I can relax. But I wanted to give you guys kind of an update of how things have been going. For those that don't follow me on Instagram, I ended up having to have an emergency C-section after I had been pushing for a while, and you could see him about to come out, but he couldn't get all the way out. I asked on my Instagram if you guys wanted to hear the birth video, the birth story, and you guys said yes, but I honestly am not ready to tell it, just because, I mean, I've told people that I know personally, but I just had a really hard time with the birth. The hardest thing that has been for me so far is breastfeeding. I knew having a newborn would be hard. I knew that the birth potentially could be hard in the C-section and everything. And I was prepared for like recovery to be hard. And, you know, my mom doesn't live in the same state as me, so that was going to be hard. And I feel like I tried to prepare myself the best I could for that. But I did not prepare myself for how hard breastfeeding would be. And I guess that's something I've heard women say, like it was so easy for them. And then I've heard others say it was really hard. So I don't know what I should share or what I shouldn't share, but basically I've had to supplement formula just because I wasn't producing enough, but I've gotten my production up. And then I also he latched perfectly great. How my breasts are made, how do I say this and it be appropriate for YouTube? I have introverted breast. So I got really, really sore, hard, scabby breast. So I won't get into it much further than that, but it's been very, very painful, very hard. But I will say the lactation consultants have really helped me. Let me check on my baby. You waking up? Yes. Lactation consultants have helped me, and I really don't want to share what I've done to get milk production up or to what the lactation specialist has told me, because it's different for everybody, and I don't want to get on bless you, and I don't want to get on here and give you advice that's only for my body and not for yours. But I will say, lactation consultants are great. Oh my gosh, the nurses in the hospital just were great for me when it come to breastfeeding. I know it's like breast is best, but I also thought I'm not gonna stress myself out. I will formula feed if I have to, and something happened where I was just so determined to breastfeed. There was a point where it got really bad. I had a few people tell me that it was just time to give it up, and I couldn't. I wanted to do it. So I don't know how long I will be breastfeeding. I'm still doing a little bit of formula, but for the most part, I'm doing well with just breast milk, and I just want to try to keep it going for as long as I can. I don't know what mom instinct that is for me, but I want to do that for my baby. Yeah. But formula is a lifesaver too, because honestly, I don't know what I would have done if that was another thing for me. Hi, precious. That was another thing for me that was really strange, is that one, I had a C-section, and two, I couldn't produce the milk. Something in my head was like, your body, had we not had modern medicine or all these other things like formula, your body would not be able to produce what it needed or do what it needed to do to produce this human and keep him alive. And that really got to me. I don't know. It was just, it's very strange. And my hormones are like every which way. So I also told my husband, I was like, if he was a colicky baby or cried all the time, I don't know what I would do, because I was recovering from a C-section and from almost having him vaginally. And then also just the injury that I was having to my breast, and trying to feel adequate even when I was not feeling adequate because I wasn't producing enough breast milk. Tell them what we're gonna do today. You want to? You want to tell him what we're gonna do today? He has so much hair. He's so sweet. He's a sweet baby. So I want to do a video of all the things that have really helped me with his newborn stage, but I just want to get through the newborn stage before I give any advice, because I think if I give advice right now, it's going to be a little too soon, since I'm such a new mom and he's not even a month old yet. I will say he's got Magnetic Me onesie on right now. Those have been really nice. And then, so my cart video that I did last week, or not last week, oh my gosh, the week that I had him, has been so helpful. Oh my gosh, so helpful. It was like a lifesaver for me because of my C-section and not being able to bend over. The only thing that I would add to my cart, and I have my cart right over here, I don't have enough hands to turn you over there, is a clippy, because as you can see, if my hair is down like that and I just need to clip it up, that is the one thing that I will add to my cart. It has been such a lifesaver for me, because we're doing nighttime feedings, we're doing formula, we're doing breast milk, we're doing all the things. Oh, there's one other thing that I want to show you guys that I added to my cart. I don't have it over here right now, but it is a certain kind of bottle that you can press. I know it. That you can press and it releases the formula into the water. They're so great for nighttime feedings. Let me go get it and show you. Okay, so here's the bottle. You can get these on Amazon. I'll leave a link for you below. But what you do, there's two buttons on this side. You press it and it releases formula into the water, and then this little piece down here, you can shake it, just helps shake it up. It's just the nipple. And this little container, you put the formula in here and you press it, and then you put your water in here. So those late night feedings, oh my gosh, this has just really helped me a lot, especially when I was doing supplementing mostly formula until I got my milk production up. So I just wanted to share that. That and the Clippy are the only two things that I added to the cart that I recommend you add. Another struggle that I've had with him is recently he's been really gassy, and so we've been trying to figure that out, manage it, burp him, keep him upright, work his legs, We had some gas relief medicine or things to help him break up those gas bubbles. But that is the biggest, I would say the biggest overall challenge was breastfeeding. Just recovery in general, and then his gassiness and just trying to get him comfortable. But other than that, it's been really good. It's exhausting and my emotions are like this, of course. I have moments of I just need to cry. And then I have moments where I cry that I'm happy. I'm crying that I'm sad. It's just kind of all over the place, but I'm hoping it levels out. I also had no idea I am always cold, and I am cold right now. I'm usually cold throughout the day. I had no idea the night sweats that would happen. I mean, every single night since I've given birth, I've had just major night sweats. And I wake up so cold. I'm like having to change the bed every single night because I don't even know where the water is coming from my body because I'm like seeping in sweat, which is totally normal, I hear. He is just like playing. He is looking at these lights like, oh my gosh, what are these? Had no idea that was going to happen. I'm also going to do a video of what I actually used in my diaper bag, but I will just go ahead and tell you guys I used everything. Anyone who told me that I overpacked, I was in the hospital for 4 or 5 days for recovery from the C-section, and I also am so glad I packed different outfits, because in Dallas it was like one day it was 70 degrees and then the day we actually left it was like 30 something. So I'm really glad I packed what I packed, but for the most part I used everything. So I will go back over that at some later date. Another thing that I kind of been struggling with, which also goes in with hormones, is like just the anxiety of like, is he breathing? I think the first thing I said when Adam and I were in the hospital, like alone in the room with the baby, I made Adam check the baby to see if he was breathing multiple times. And Adam would be like, he's fine, he's breathing. And I'm like, no, put your finger under his nose and like feel his breath. I mean, just that kind of like anxiety. And then I also just crazy thoughts in my head, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I would do if God forbid something happened to Adam. And then I would like almost obsess over that. It's like worrying about my baby, worrying about Adam, worrying about my family. And those thoughts can just keep going and snowballing into something big if you don't like reel it in. And so that has been one thing that I've struggled with. I did have kind of anxiety post or before having him, but afterwards it's kind of switched into just keeping him alive, being able to keep him alive. I think like going back to what I said earlier, knowing that if it weren't for modern medicine, I probably wouldn't have him. That got in my head. I mean, it was just, bless you. It was just a lot. Also on the nights or days where he can't be comforted or he's just overly tired or crying, and that alone can send you into a different headspace. Thank God he's been so good, but there have been moments where I'm just like, need to just hand him off for a minute to either Adam or our moms and just go back into a room and calm down and then come back, because I was getting a little overwhelmed and just needed a break, take a shower, come back, and then be what I needed to be. Like in the hospital when I was struggling to breastfeed, that he got to a point where I was like hunched over. I pulled my back out because I was hunching over to breastfeed him constantly, because we were trying to get my milk production, trying to get him the colostrum, and I'm healing every which way, and I blew my back out, and I was like so mentally, I was trying to be strong and like just, I was like in survival mode, and I almost had kind of PTSD from the birth, that I was like in survival mode for myself and for him. And then I would just like snap out of it and be like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's just the cutest thing ever to me. And that was, seeing his little face just really got me through those weird thoughts I was having. One more thing is, I had the baby in January. So it was during an ice cold storm here in Texas, which hardly ever happens, but it happened right after I had the baby. And I think I saw the sun one time in 17 days. And that was a big, big downer for me. And I don't know why I let myself do that, because in preparing for him, I read so many articles and studies about having babies in the winter and how it can be really depressing, and you need sunlight and you need to go outside. If you're just like packing him up and going through the drive-thru and getting a water or something, that you need to get out and see the sun. And since it was so cold and so icy, of course I couldn't leave the house, but I also just didn't make it a priority to go outside when the weather got better, and I think that really hindered me. So if I were to give advice to anybody, which I'm not the one to give advice right now, because like I said, I'm a new mom, is to make sure if you're having a winter baby, especially, to get some sunlight, to just like walk outside, put your feet on the ground. I think that would have helped me in some of my emotions. And the minute that I did that, it was like I got an endorphin drip or something. It was so good for me. And so that is something, if the weather's nice outside, I want to make sure that I'm going out at least for like 30 minutes. Something that helped me, that in hindsight I think was really beneficial to me now that I'm here, is that I did not have any expectations. I didn't have any expectations with anyone but myself, of like making sure I was doing what I needed to do to be a good mom. And those standards were his basic needs and my basic needs. I didn't put any extra pressure on myself. But with that mindset that I got myself to, I still had the expectation that I was going to breastfeed when he got here. I wasn't expecting that I would feel that way. But I think having that mindset really helped me too. Not saying that things didn't creep up into my mind, because obviously they did. I'm sharing some of those things with you. But those were just going into this, not having a super, super high expectation for what this is going to be, or kind of like a fantasy of having a baby would be. It was really, I was able to deal with things that came my way better than what I think I would have if I would have really thought about this fantasy of having a baby in my head, because that's very easy to do. But now that he has fallen asleep, I'm going to go get dressed. I'm going to let him nap for a little bit before his next feeding in about an hour. I also am so excited because today, this is so funny. I'm super excited about this. Today, I am getting a chocolate chip pizza from Pizza Inn delivered here from Pizza Inn. They reached out to me because that was like one of my biggest pregnancy cravings, was a chocolate chip pizza from Pizza Inn. And if you've never had one, I'm telling you, you need to go get one. And so I tagged them in a few things throughout my pregnancy, and they just reached out to me, and they're going to bring me one today. And I'm super, super excited about it. I'm like almost to the point where I'm craving it like I was in my pregnancy. So I am going to get some things done while I have the time. And to all my moms out there, oh my gosh, God bless you. God bless you, and God bless your family and your children. I knew this would be hard, but I was up for the challenge. I'm definitely up for the challenge. I'm here and I'm ready. But God bless you all, because you don't know until you know. And now I'm learning. So thank you for all your advice, and hopefully I'll see you soon. And just have a fantastic week. And if you're feeling down, get your mind right. Do what you need to do to get your mind right. And anyway, see you guys soon. Bye.